The Los Angeles Clippers may be one of the most cursed and just unfortunate, unlucky teams in the entire NBA, basically since the inception of this franchise, all the way back, well, a very long time ago in like the 1900s. They are very, very old, okay? And it's basically been unlucky, unfortunate events the entire time throughout this franchise's history, and to really get just like a grasp of how bad this team is and how just unlucky it is, and just kind of weird, let's go all the way back to when they first became the San Diego Clippers. And yes, you heard me correctly, I did say the San Diego Clippers because back in the 1978 through 79 season, that is when they moved to San Diego from Atlanta, and they were actually named after the sailboats. Apparently the sails on the boat are called a clipper. I didn't know that. I always thought they were named after haircuts, to be honest, but no, they're named after sailboats, so at least the name made sense in San Diego. But after having a losing record in 5 of the 6 seasons in San Diego, pretty much like all San Diego professional sports teams, they decided they were going to be moving to Los Angeles. No offense to my Chargers fans out there. But oddly enough, when they moved to LA, they kept the Clippers name, which makes absolutely zero sense in Los Angeles, because as far as I know, I never heard someone say, I love Los Angeles because of the sailboats. I've never heard that. No, I also have never heard that about San Diego in their defense, but still, I don't think it makes sense. They could have definitely made better names than the Los Angeles Clippers, and it really just doesn't make sense because I don't think there's a lot of sailboats over there in Los Angeles. I could be wrong. I've never been there. I'm just going to assume, and you're going to assume I'm correct, okay? Believe me for what I said. Sources are me. But to make things even worse, like I said, they have one of the worst mascot/name combinations pretty much ever in sports history, because for some reason in 2016, they decided to introduce this little fucker, Chuck the Condor. It doesn't even make sense. They have a condor named Chuck as the mascot for the Los Angeles Clippers, which are named after sailboats in San Diego. It literally doesn't make any sense. And to make things even worse, why would anyone want a condor ever as their mascot? It's maybe the ugliest bird I've ever seen. Like, look at this thing. It's hideous. And then it looks nothing like Chuck. So I'm getting on a tangent, but it's by far one of the worst name and mascot combinations. And this isn't even the curse. This is just the franchise just being stupid on their own and making their own unfortunate weird luck, okay? But now that we got the whole like condor sailboat mascot combination going on here, now that we got that bullshit settled, let's go to the actual history since they joined Los Angeles, since they moved from San Diego to Los Angeles. Well, it started off, you could say, a little rocky, as they made the playoffs a grand total of 4 times in the first 27 years of them being in LA. That is horrible. How they had fans watching that, there's no way they found it enjoyable. I could think of pretty much anything being more enjoyable than being a fan of the Clippers during that time period. Like jerking off with sandpaper probably would have been more enjoyable.
What did he say?
Than watching the Los Angeles Clippers in that 27-year period. And to make things worse, they lost in the first round 3 of those 4 times. So it's not like they were really good those 4 years. No, they were just average. They had 4 years of being average and 27 years of being complete and utter garbage, okay? So very unimpressive start in Los Angeles, you could say. But then things started kind of turning around. You could say the sails started to get a little bit of air. The condor started to fly a little bit, okay? As in 2011 through 12, they were able to get the beginning of the Lob City Clippers era, the big 3 of Christopher Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. Okay, that sounds like a very underassuming big 3 in today's terms, but at the time, this was revolutionary, okay? Chris Paul just got traded from the Hornets, Blake Griffin just got drafted, and I'm pretty sure they drafted DeAndre Jordan as well. That could be completely wrong, but they were able to go 40 and 26 in their first year together, which was by far one of the most successful seasons they've ever had in franchise history up to this point, and they look to be set up for years and years of success going forward at high level success, maybe even winning a finals, which was completely revolutionary for this franchise. But no, they did play at a high level in the regular season, but as you know, things didn't work out. As just the next season, they would get even better. They would go 56 and 26. They were one of the best teams in the entire NBA, but they lost in the first round to the 5th seeded Memphis Grizzlies, led by Mike Conley, Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, and Mr. First Team All-Defense Tony Allen himself. And they lost in the first round after winning 56 games, which is arguably more impressive than winning the finals after winning 56 games. And then then the next season, they would actually get one more game better, being 57-25, but they would still only make it to the second round, where they then lost to Kevin Snake Durant himself in the Oklahoma City Thunder with Westbrook and James Harden and Serge Ibaka and all them. That was a really good team, but they still only lost in the second round, which was very achieving for a team that was supposed to be legitimate finals contenders. But hey, that was just 2 years, okay? Surely they have a lot more years. Well, then they followed that with another 56-win season and another second-round exit. Things are starting to get a little rough out here. And then that would proceed 2 straight first-round exits for the Lob City, which would officially end the Lob City Clippers. So they never really got past the second round. They were always undervalued, underachieving. They would always have really good regular seasons, but then for some reason the playoffs, they would just get absolutely crapped on. They would shit the bed and things just wouldn't work out. So the Lob City Clippers would go on to pretty much dissolve with a whimper opposed to a bang, and they never really got to achieve anything of significance, honestly. And things were looking kind of low as they would go on another little 2-year stretch. It was average success when they had Shea on their team. They were just okay. They weren't anything special. Not really any real finals contenders. But don't worry, because somehow the Los Angeles Clippers would turn it around once again. And boom, after just 2 seasons after Lob City ended, they would go on to acquire Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in the same offseason. Things were looking around again. They were immediately put back up top at everyone's finals contending. Everybody had them once again being probably the finals favorites, and they were going to be able to do it. Kawhi was just coming off of a finals championship in Toronto. He was God. He could do anything. And of course, no, it's Los Angeles, so no, that didn't happen. As, everybody's probably fairly familiar with the recent history of the Clippers. And as in the first time, they were actually fully healthy, and it's actually been the only time they've been fully healthy in the playoffs. But of course, that was the bubble year, and nothing normal happened in the bubble because it's the bubble. And they choked a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets, to a fat white Serbian man, okay? So no, things didn't go great for them in the bubble. They were 1 game away from making the Western Conference Finals, but of course, it's the Clippers, so no, they did not do that. And then, in year 2, they would go 47-25. They made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in franchise history, and Kawhi Leonard got hurt after Game 4 in the second round, so no, of course they didn't win the Western Conference Finals. Nothing good will ever happen for this Clippers team. It's insane. Oh, you made the Western Conference Finals, but now Kawhi is dead. He no longer gets to play. You had to sacrifice him to get there. So Paul George, being playoff P, obviously was not enough to get past the Phoenix Suns, and they did not make the finals. And then last year, they missed the playoffs entirely, as Paul George missed the majority of the time, and Kawhi Leonard missed the entire season. And now this year, they were actually very good. They're making the playoffs, but now Paul George is down with a hamstring injury and will most likely miss the entire playoffs. So, no, probably not winning the finals this year either. And the Clippers are just definitely the most cursed team in the entire NBA. From having a damn condor as your mascot, I think that's the reason you're cursed. No one with this bird as your mascot is ever going to succeed. I don't care. Get rid of it. It's disgusting. But then you're named after a sailboat, which is also a really stupid thing. You need to rebrand your whole team to get this curse off your back, in my opinion. But unfortunately, guys, that's more for this video. So if you're still watching at this point, thank you so much. And if you did like the video, hit the like button. It would mean the world to me. Hit the like button and subscribe button, actually. If you're going to hit the like button, you might as well also hit the subscribe button. But yeah, and I hope you have a blessed day, because I had a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah.